Proverbs 31 is known as this wonderful chapter on a very godly woman, a mother, but not just a mother, but a godly woman in general. And honestly, when I think of that chapter, I'm very, very blessed to have three beautiful, strong, godly women in my life. Of course, there's my mom. She's 97, and she's coming to the end of her time on this earth. And she's in a home, and we love her. She's been a great mom. But at this point, I'm thinking of my wife, my daughter, Kristen, and my daughter-in-law, Sarah. I'm very blessed, and I know their husbands of Sarah and Kristen feel the same way. But anyway, Proverbs 31 identifies some key components, and I'm only going to jump on a few of them. And I think about my wife when I think of this first one. In fact, really all of them. Scripture says, "A wife of noble character, who can find? She's worth far more than rubies." And that Hebrew word noble really means someone that's valiant, and she's a brave, valiant woman. So I think of my wife, but I also think specifically of my daughter, Kristen. She's like a warrior. You would call her in the Asian world maybe like a tiger mama. Not a hovering helicopter mama, but she's a very focused, strong, godly wife and mother. She has tenacity, and she bounces back with the difficulties of life that can come her way and have come her way. When she gets down, my daughter, she bounces back up. And I think that's so admirable, and I love that about her. Then the scripture goes on to say this, her husband trusts her without reserve and never has reason to regret it. And I think about my son Robbie with his wife Sarah. Sarah, we're so blessed to have Sarah in our life. We say Robbie lucked out in Jesus. He hit the jackpot with her. Sarah is a wonderful, strong, godly, focused woman, so consistent. We're very, very blessed to have her in our life. She's not perfect, of course, but she's so consistent, and she's so patient, and she's so focused on what she does and how much she loves the Lord and teaches her kids to follow the Lord as well. We're just so blessed. The scripture goes on to say this woman in Proverbs 31 is never spiteful. She treats her man with generosity all of her life. And I think about Leilani. She doesn't hold a grudge. I think in our young marriage, when we've had issues back and forth, Leilani moves on. And she doesn't hold on to an offense. She moves on and she forgets. And she wants me to do the same thing. And she's brought that up to me over the years to do that. She's been a great example of doing that. And just having this generous, open heart, not just toward her husband, but to people. And then there's another scripture that I want to pop out, and I want to include all three of the ladies in my life, where the scripture that says she looks over a field and buys it. And then with the money, she puts it aside and she plants a garden, etc. All three of the ladies in my life, they're business women. I learned early on, my wife did a great job with bookkeeping, and she's a music teacher, and she has her business doing that. Sarah is in real estate, my son's wife, and she's a businesswoman. My daughter, she is a New York Life agent, and before that, she ran, and she was the head of the Nordstrom's department for lingerie, of all things, and they had a very, very successful time when she was doing that for several years. So we're very blessed in our family, and I hope you are too. Proverbs 31, we men, we can look at Proverbs 31 as well and look at those attributes and say, that would be something good for me to apply into my life. The scripture ends in Proverbs 31. It says, charm can be misleading and beauty can fade, but the woman to be admired and praised is the woman who lives in the fear of God. And I love it that this particular chapter doesn't go into the woman's physical attributes, because beauty can be fading, can it? It sure can. But that which is in the heart lasts and lasts. So give your special lady in your life some real love this year. Be unique, do something special, think it through, and the woman in your life, I'm sure, will greatly appreciate that.